Today, guys, let us create a Linux virtual machine and we'll deploy Docker on it. Yeah. Okay. Before that, select Ubuntu, guys. Select this password method. Select a username and password for it. You will be having SSH port, guys, for Linux VMs and review create. Actually, guys, if it is a Windows VM, what will you use to connect to that? RDP. You need MSTS in RDP so that we can connect. In the same way, to access the Linux machines, you need to download PuTTY. Do you guys, anyone ever heard about PuTTY? It is a SSH telnet client, guys, by using which we can connect to any Linux machine. So you download PuTTY in your systems, guys. Let me. Assignment done by whom? Basha has done it. Then Manish has done it. Good. You download PuTTY. Then, guys, open PuTTY. Go to resource. This is the PuTTY, guys. Here, you need to use the IP. Port will be 22, guys. Click open. Accept. You need to enter your username and password here, guys. Username and password. Guys, if you know, if it is a Windows system, we would have seen the GUI, graphical user interface, correct? Guys. Yes. Now we are inside a Linux machine called VM1. Who created that? Who logged in to this VM? 𝐻𝐻𝐿24. So guys, you will be having console method to access or to deploy any application inside your Linux VMs. If you look at here, I have successfully connected to my Linux machine. This is the VM1 and 𝐻𝐻𝐿24 user has connected to this particular VM. Now, here guys, after you create your VM, what you need to do, you need to download Docker software in that particular machine. And guys, here you will be having two sets of commands. One is Docker setup commands. The other one is Docker run commands. Here, guys. So what we have just done, we have created a brand new empty Docker machine, Linux virtual machine, guys. And here what we are trying to do, I want to install Docker in that machine. First of all, guys, do you know this command sudo apt update? Anyone?
Updating latest packages.
Yeah, update all the packages, latest packages in that particular machine, guys. You can see every other package is getting updated. You execute this as your first command. Let me provide these commands to you guys. These known as Docker setup commands. Yesterday you have seen we have deployed Docker on our cloud, guys. You know, that means there is no Windows VM virtual machine or Linux VM. It is a serverless approach. Today we are planning to deploy to our Linux VM. Okay. And guys, yeah, you have updated everything here. Very good. To refresh the screen, type Control-L, guys. You know, to replace the screen, you have to use the button Control-L. Then what you need to do, first you need to execute this command. Just till this point only, this is to just let you know, this will install like that. So these are all just information. So command will be like this only. You just copy this. This will install the certificates, guys, which are needed to install the Docker. Do you want to continue? Yes. We are installing certificates which will be used to later on use it to install Docker. And then, guys, what you need to do, we have set up our Linux machine to work with the certificates. Then you need to download the certificates. You can see I'm downloading them from downloaddocker.com for Linux machines. So you type till this point. Copy. This will add all the certificates. That means you have downloaded the respective certificate from the Docker desktop, guys. Then finally, installation and creation of the Docker will happen with this step, guys. What will it do? It will install Docker and it will create a repo inside it. What is a repository, guys? You can see it is getting the data or software from download.docker.com /Linux Ubuntu. Yeah, everything is done. Now, guys, then execute this particular, because you have installed a lot of the software certificates in your machine so that it can support Docker. You need to update your machine, guys. With all
we have updated earlier also, right?
Yeah, but now what you have done, you installed some new packages now. After you updated that, have you installed any new software in the machine? We have done all these Docker steps now, guys.
Yeah.
So for that also you need to, it is not mandatory. If you type that, then it will go, guys. Finally, this command is the main important command, which will run the Docker on your machine. Control L. All commands, guys. Everything is a command.
What is Docker-C?
This is actually executing it. Actually, guys, there are two things will happen. One is installing Docker. Second is running Docker. What is the meaning of that? Installing means, guys, the software will be installed. For example, guys, if you look at here, I'll show, you can see this is Docker desktop for Windows. I've installed this machine. I have installed this particular software in my machine. If I click that, you can see, guys, install is different, running is different. If you want to create any applications inside your Docker, it should be in a running state. Are you getting my point? Running state is important. You can see, guys, can you see? There is you can see Docker desktop is starting. That means though I have installed a long back, now I am starting my Docker so that I can deploy some applications in it. Now you can see the Docker desktop is running. When this is running, I can do anything in it. Are you getting my point? What is installing? What is running, guys? What is installing? What is running? Can anyone tell me what is installing and what is running? What is the difference between those two?
Installing means application will install and save in the hard disk.
Yeah, you will install the software.
RAM.
Yeah, you will install the software inside it, but you will never run it. It will be installed. If you want to deploy any application over this Docker, the Docker should be in a running state. Then only you can work with the Docker application. And guys, the next command
is CE stands for container engine.
What?
No, is -CE stands for container engine, Docker container engine.
Yes, Docker container engine, correct.
Okay.
Now, when you execute this command, it will tell us. This command will only tell us whether my Docker container is running or not. What is the state of my particular container? It is active. That means it is running. Now what I need to do? Yeah, everything is done, guys. Let me check the version of the Docker which I have installed and ran on this Linux machine. It is Docker version 24.0.2. Now, guys, till this point, guys, what you have done? You just install Docker and you ran it on the Linux machine. Now, guys, the next step. Okay, this is your VM, guys. You have installed the Docker on this machine. Then what next, guys? You need to copy your project files. Now, guys, you need to copy your project files so that those files can be built by using the Docker file. So how you will copy? Guys, if it is a Windows VM, if you want to copy something to that VM, how you have done it? You simply copy paste it, copy from your local machine. But will it work in Linux? No, you can't copy anything from Windows machine to the Linux machine. Further, guys, what you need to do? You need to download WinSCP. WinSCP is nothing but WinSCP or FileZilla. It's a FTP protocol, guys, by using which you can actually transfer files from one machine to the other machine. So, guys, this step, what are we trying to do here? You all download WinSCP. Why we are trying to download this? I'll let you know. If you look at here, I have already downloaded this WinSCP in my system. Let me open this. And what is my intention? I want to copy the project files which are there in my machine to this particular VM. How will you do that? You simply click new site. And here, guys, you have to provide your Linux VM's IP. What is your Linux VM IP? This is my IP. You copy it and paste it there. And you have to provide the username and password. Login. If you look at here, guys, searching for the host, connecting to the host. Guys, this is my local folder. This is my Linux VM, guys. If you look at here, 𝐂𝐮𝐫𝐬𝐞24. Who is 𝐂𝐿NK24? Linux
admin.
The user who is correctly logged into that Linux machine. So, guys, this right-hand side is your Linux VM. Left-hand side is your local machine. And, guys, in this local machine, I have a publish folder. This will contain the dotted application along with the Docker file. Now, what will I do, guys? I simply copy and paste it here. I'm just moving my project files from my local machine to the Linux virtual machine. If you look at here, guys, I'm copying the files. Now, and where are these files?
This is the build one, right?
Yeah, after build, you will get the publish folder.
Publish
If you
folder.
remember which folder you will copy generally in real time to the VMs, not the source code, either build or publish folders, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So guys, if you look at, let me show that particular folder. If you look at here, in the Linux, by looking at the folder, can you please tell me what type of application is this? Have you ever seen this type of structure earlier?
.NET.
It's a .NET thing, guys. .dll. It's a publish folder, www root. And does it contain a Docker file?
Yes.
Definitely, it should contain a Docker file. Otherwise, you can't deploy it on a container registry. So let me open this Docker file. I want to show this. Yeah, can anyone please decode it for me? What is this?
Image file.
Downloading the runtime from the
3.1
Microsoft
version.
website.
Yeah. And what is this?
Working directly
Where is it?
on Linux.
On Linux. And what is this?
Copying.
What is the
Source
first
code.
command?
Current
Source
working
and
directory.
directory.
Source is where you have the files. Destination is your working directory,
Target.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what is this?
Opening
Port
the
and,
Which is
and expose.
this application on this port number.
This is the application.
entry point.
Now, if you come back here, yeah, now you have your publish folder inside your this thing. So let me type dir. I can see publish is there. So let me go inside it. Currently, I'm inside my publish folder. If I dir it, I should see the Docker file. Do I have a Docker file here? Yes, I have it. When you type cat Docker file, you should see the contents of the file. Correct? Yes, I get my point. What I have just done, guys? Guys, what I have just done?
Copy the publish folder to the Linux server and then see the content of Docker file.
Yeah. If you type dir, it will show all the content files of this folder which we just copied. And if you type cat Docker file, it will show us the contents of the Docker. Now, guys, you know, okay, guys, let us come back to these steps. The Docker setup commands. If you come back to, if you click this Docker setup commands, done, guys. We have done everything. So till this point, guys, what you have just done, you install the Docker software on the Linux machine. Then you run the Docker software on the Linux machine. Then you copied your project files, which contains the Docker file in it. You copy to the Linux machine. Now, guys, now what we need to do? Setup is done, guys. Then there will be a series
Docker
of run steps, guys. These are run steps. You can use, guys, in our company, we will be having a certified purchased these things, guys. Clients to transfer our files. So here you are using WinSCP. In your company, they will be using something else. So you guys, you cannot copy anything directly from your Windows to Linux. This is the only way to copy. Now, guys, if you come back to here, these are known as Docker run commands, guys. These are known as Docker run commands. And what will these do? If you come back here, first of all, guys, now I have everything in the code, the actual code is there in my machine. Huh? And guys, can anyone tell me what will these do? Though you have an application code, we need to create an image, correct or not? Guys, we need to create an image from the given code. So what you will do when you execute this particular command till this dot, copy this, open here, come back here. When you press it, remember, guys, can you see all the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5? What are all these steps?
Building the image.
Whatever you written in the Docker file, guys. What is the first step?
Yeah, okay, downloading.
Downloading the runtime. Where are you downloading?
In the current.
In your Docker container. Can you see the first step? It is downloading all necessary runtime. And what should the next step? Creating the working directory. What is the third step? Copying the files. Currently, where are the files? In the publish folder. Do we have files here? Guys.
Yes.
And to which folder we are copying the files?
/app.
Correct? So guys, what we have just done, we created an image, the container image in my Docker container. Now let us see how it looks. You simply type this particular command to check the image. You can see, guys, this is the image which we have just created. The repository name is .app. From where it has come? From here, guys. This is your repository's name. Now, guys, come back to here. Yeah, come back to here. Tag is latest. You haven't given any name to the tag. If you don't give any name, latest will come, guys. In future classes, we will be giving our own tag names to the Docker container images. Next, guys, there will be an image ID created and the size. So, guys, my Linux machine, which has a Docker container, now we have an image inside that container. Then, guys, what we need to do? Okay, we have an image, but we need to run it. Because I want to see that, guys, what this particular thing will do. It will run my Docker container application in a detached mode on port number 5000. If you look at here, guys, when I execute this particular command, it will actually run the application on the container. When you press enter, whatever, this is my repo which has one application, one image in it. That particular image now will run on port number 5000. It is actually running.
Yeah, why we have to specify 2 times port number?
Because we need to open that port inside and outside of the VM. Just give me a minute, you will understand that.
Okay.
If you come back here, when I type the last command, this will give us the container details, the actual container, we have it. If you look at here, guys, this is my container ID. This is my repo, which has my image, my application, .NET web application.dll. There is a command now. We have given the entry point in the Docker file, the last command, correct? What is the last command in the Docker file? .NET web application.dll. That is the entry point of your application. Created 30 seconds back. If you look at here, guys, this is the port. If you look at here, this first 5000 is telling us 0000. What is the meaning of all zeros, guys? Whenever you see any IP with zeros means that means it's a local host. Are you getting my point? If you remember, when you deploy any application inside your VM, how will you access the application inside a VM?
Localhost.
Localhost. If you want access outside,
We need to provide an IP with the port number.
With the VM's IP and port number. So, guys, here you are mapping the local host 5000 port to a TCP port of 5000. That is the reason you have to mention it twice. Now, okay, how can I access it, guys? Then I want to access it.
Just one question. So we can give different port also, like 5000 maybe.
No, guys. No. You should give the same port in the local and out. So you can't give 2 different ports. Yeah. Now the application is running. I know that on port number 5000. But how will I access it? I want to access it. How will I access it?
IP address.
With the IP of my Linux VM. This is my IP. But you need to do one more thing here. What is that thing?
You need to open the inbound port.
Yeah, inbound port of 5000 has to be opened. If you go back inbound port 5000, you have to add this port, guys. After you added this port, now type this and execute 5000, press enter. Now what will happen? You will be seeing the .NET application which has been deployed to a Docker container which is there in your Linux VM. You can see this particular application is now deployed to my Linux machine. Actually, not directly in Linux machine. There is a Docker container. In the Docker container, this .NET image has been deployed, correct?
Yes. I have one question.
Yeah.
Should I ask now?
Yeah, you can ask now.
In this container ID, so like the way yesterday we specified the virtual CPU, right, and the memory configuration. So here, where we specified those things?
For that, guys, very good question. Actually, what you have just seen, you directly deployed the container. Okay, if it is not on the VM, you need to explicitly mention the container size and everything else. But now you are running inside a VM. If you want to increase any configuration of it, how will you do that?
Okay, we will increase that with VM's configuration.
Yeah, VM size and the capacity that will be increased. Like
but the diagram is shown to us basically. So we are actually making a compartments, right? For the .NET, it is a different compartment for this.
And if you remember, I told you each container will share the resources equally, correct?
Okay.
What happens if you increase the RAM and CPU size of your VM?
So they will be shared across. So they will be equally shared, right?
Equally shared among the containers which you deployed on the VM. So if you want to allocate more memory and performance, memory and the CPU for one container, what you need to do? What you need to do?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, increase the size of your VM. Right?
But then that is again will be splitted across the containers, right? So even
.NET
.NET container requires more.
If you remember, if you allocate more size, more CPU speed and the RAM size to one container, what will happen, guys? Other will perform poorly. Na? How can you increase only one container? It will differ the main purpose of it. Na?
No, but if for example, .NET application is my heavily running application than other applications. So is there any possibility
within inside a VM? You can't do that. Actually, guys,
there is no provisioning.
No provisioning. So, guys, the purpose of these containers to share all the resources equally among all the given containers. Actually, in real time, guys, what will you do? You will never stop deploying these containers to Linux VM, and you will never stop there. what you will do, you will orchestrate this particular container into a cluster, and there you will define the size and everything else. Okay, what is that? That will happen with Kubernetes. That will come next, guys. So here, just understand this. You are actually deploying these containers on VMs by installing the Docker software, and you need to run the software, execute all the commands given in the Docker file, and expose one of the port, add the port to the in-one port rule, and by using the VM's IP, you are going to access the application. Yes, just really tell me, how many of you have understood this class? Only one or two. How many of you understood this class?
I understood.
Yeah, apart from Manish. Basha, did you? Okay,
Yes,
good. Actually, guys, yeah, if you practice, then it will be clear, guys. If you don't practice, if you just leave now, if you don't practice, guys, it never be clear. If you remember, yesterday's thing is entirely different, correct? We have seen yesterday one thing, which is entirely different. Today is entirely different. And tomorrow, guys, what we are going to do, we are going to deploy the same thing on a Windows VM, guys. For that, we need to explicitly install the Docker desktop software. I've shown you earlier. Huh? This we need to install, and we need to open it, we need to run it. There will be container details, execute the commands. So, guys, tomorrow again, a separate thing. So every day you will be doing something else. And day after tomorrow, what you will be doing, you will be creating these containers and using these container images inside your app services. And guys, I'll show one project where the front end is on React, back end is on Node.js, and DB is on MongoDB. Are you getting my point? Guys, till now you have only seen one DB, na?
Yes, SQL Server.
Yeah. Now, tomorrow's Windows machine, day after tomorrow, you will be seeing app services method. And after the very next day, we are going to deploy a project where the front end is on React, but .NET is not on, backend is not on .NET. There is a language called Node.js. Have you ever heard about that?
Yes, in the class.
Yeah, very famous Node.js, guys. Only two are very popular in the backend area. One is .NET Core, second one is Node.js. Nowadays, Java is there, Python is also there, but these are the major players in the market. So, guys, and you don't have, if it is no SQL database, what is an SQL database and what is a NoSQL database?
RDBMS and non-RDBMS.
Yeah, structured data, non-structured data. For example, if you take SQL DB, it's a structured data. You will be having property table by writing queries. You will get the data, and and there is no SQL databases, guys, where there won't be any relationships, no normalization, nothing will be there. Those types of DBs are this PostgreSQL, NoSQL, and this MongoDB DBs. So we will be creating one MongoDB database, one front-end React, one back-end Node.js, and that will come in the next phase. That will be done on the Docker. Understood something, guys? Guys, clear, or
Yes.
is it clear till this point?
Yes.
Good. Now what we will be doing? Okay, very good, guys. If you are following, very, very good. Yeah, please, only 2 people have done that assignment. I'm repeatedly telling, only 2 have.
Welcome to LWP Labs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to view free Azure DevOps live classes. And for more videos like this, please contact the number shown in the description. Happy learning!